Hi guys, how are you? Hang on one second, let me get this shared to my team page. Good morning. Well, I guess almost afternoon. How is everybody? Okay, one sec. When you guys pop on, say hello. And we will get going. Hi guys, when you pop on, say hi. Say hello. I'm excited for everyone to pop on. You guys are probably wondering what the heck I'm doing here on my personal page. Hi Nicole. Hi Nicole and hi Nicole. How are you guys? Okay, one sec. Let me just post this in the team page. Okay. All right, today's the day. Today is the day, ladies. All right, so hi Jill, how are you? All right, so the reason why I'm here today is for a couple of reasons. Hi Joe. I have been asked a couple of times to share the trainings that I do in my team page on my personal page. And I'm always hesitant about it because my girls are my girls and we keep a tight knit in there and, it leaves a safe space for them to ask questions and to be present and all of that stuff. Maybe someday I'll share a couple trainings on here, but that's what I do right now. But we have had, just a roller coaster over the last week within my team. And as we're kind of winding down to the final stretch of it, I started thinking today, I was in the shower and I was thinking, this is something that has become like a symbol of something amazing. And it's not just one of our team members leaving this earth. It is something so much bigger than that. And so that's why I thought, I'm going to go on the page today and I'm going to talk to all of my girls and I'm going to pour my heart out and tell them how I really feel about this and what they can take from it instead of just sadness. And but I thought, maybe this could benefit somebody else, not in our business, because I think this is really good for all walks of life, all human beings, really, whether you're a business owner, entrepreneur, you clock in and out of a job, whatever it is that you do. So when you guys pop on, say hey. Do hearts so it reminds me that you're here and that you're watching and you're not falling asleep. And if you think that this could be a benefit to somebody, please share because, sharing is caring. So I titled this Lessons I've Learned from my 34-year-old sister that's dying. And when I say sister, not my blood sister, but my soul sister, my spirit sister, through our company. So the company that I'm with, sisterhood is very powerful and sisterhood is very, very, very important. And first and foremost, when we have team trainings in our page, first and foremost is about instilling, the faith in these girls that they can do what they're going to do, to give them confidence and all of that stuff. We don't come to the team trainings and say, sales. It's not like that. Even though a lot of people have that idea in their brain about network marketing. So something had happened recently with a team member of ours. Her name's Keisha Furness. And she is the most amazing, spirit-filled, love-filled, outgoing woman that I have met in a really long time. Full of persistence, full of perseverance, and frankly, she's been such an inspiration to so many women on our team. We have almost 9,000 women in my company right now. And so that's a lot of people. And she stands out. She is like this lighthouse of light that just radiates this amazing energy, and people are drawn to her of all different status levels. So I have to remember that I'm in my personal page. So when I talk to you guys, I gotta remember to say what that is. So in our company, there's different status levels of your business, and she's more at the beginning of this chain of people. But no matter what, she always shows up every day. She posts from her chemo chair. She posts as soon as she's out of recovery from a surgery. So Miss Keisha was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she is 34. And she, as long as I have known her, she had been surviving and thriving as stage 4. And those of you that have either been touched by cancer or have had it yourself, you know that it is a vicious beast, and it can rob you of everything that you know. And but this girl did not let that happen. This girl showed up every day. If you were to speak with her without looking at her physically, you would have never known that she was sick. Her videos were always fun and light. Her pictures were always fun and light. Her attitude was always present and always positive. So as this is happening, and she's coming upon her final hours, really, at this point today, it makes you really reflect and think about our lives and about the risks that we take and the risks that we don't take. So what I want to bring to the table today with you guys, and I'm going to try to keep it together, is I want to talk to you about perseverance and the possibility of everything in your life and goals. Because I think a lot of times we become stuck in this space of helplessness and despair for all different reasons in our life. We start using words like we're stuck in our life. You know, we might be stuck in a relationship. We might be feeling helpless at a current situation or a job that we have. We might be in despair about, you know, our living situation or, you know, different habits that we have or anything like that. And then we start to lose sight of what's really important and who we're surrounding ourselves with. But we really have to understand that wherever you stand in this present moment, in this present space, is that you've already been given a gift. And when you recognize those struggles, you tend to lose your way. So to bring it back to Keisha, you know, her reality was that she was going to die from this disease. But she never said that. She always came to our team pages. She always was present in the moment. She made plans, like sister made plans like nobody's business. And I have a little story to tell you. So our national convention just passed in August. And for those of you that don't know me personally or haven't ever heard my story, I was a registered nurse before I did this job. And our national convention was in New Orleans in August. And she wanted to go. Sister bought a ticket and she was raring to go. She messaged and she was heartbroken because her doctor said, I advise against it. I don't think it's the right decision for you. Frankly, it makes me scared. Flying for her was an issue. She was on and off of oxygen all the time. You know, her body was breaking down. It was hard for her to walk because her bones were compromised. She was in a wheelchair. I mean, it was like this big burden on her shoulders. And most of the population would say, you know, I'm too sick to go. And they would turn back because that was their reality. And they fell victim to their reality. And they decided that somebody else's opinion of what was happening to them was the end all be all. And Keisha didn't do that. So Keisha messaged us and she said, I really want to go, but my doctors are saying no, but I'm going to go around them and I'm going to make this happen. So her and her mother and her father, which are the most amazing beings on this earth, they are just so full of love and positivity and create the best life for this girl, decided that it would be in Keisha's best interest to have this experience. Her parents are very into her experiencing every single thing she could. At 34, she hadn't had a chance to experience a lot of things that we all take for granted. You know, we take for granted the relationships that we might be in, that we had a chance to get married, that we had a chance to have children, that we had a chance to really go after our lifelong goal that we had been shooting for, or a lifelong career that you had been shooting for. Keisha didn't have that, so her parents provided that for her. So they messaged and said, we're going to go ahead and send her. All the paperwork, all the medication, all the supplies came. I said, listen, I'm not experienced in oncology, but I am a nurse. I have life-saving tools under my, under my skull still. It's not just all makeup. I still have that stuff lingering in there. A little bit of cobwebs, but if you need help, we have an army of people there. I mean, the sisterhood in our company runs really deep. And we have an army of people that can provide support. So they came. It was beautiful. She was at every class. She checked in. She was present constantly. She only went back to take naps when her body just couldn't do it anymore. She came to our team party, which those of you guys that have been in New Orleans, it is a very old city. They don't have elevators in some of the older parts. And so our team party was on Bourbon Street in a very, very old building that we told her, we'll carry you upstairs. We will carry you upstairs. You're coming to this team party, because that was her wish. She did not fall back onto what her reality really was, which her reality was that she was dying. So she showed up. We got her upstairs, got her hooked up back to her oxygen. She was in her chair, everyone hugging on her, loving on her. She had her celebrations, and we made the best out of it that we could. We took pictures and we really relished in the moment. It was so cool for her to see that that light, and for her to meet all of these sisters that she had connected with in our team pages. So what I do in my job is that I teach people how to dream again. That's what I do in my job. That hit me this morning in the shower, because sometimes people will ask me, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I run a multi-million-dollar cosmetic business, but that's like canned and gross. Yes, I do that, but that's not really what I do. That's what they do. That's what these army of women do that don't take the reality that's put into their laps and take it for what it's worth. They go, you know what? I don't want that to be my reality. I don't want my illness to hold me back like Keisha did, or I don't want my 9-to-5 job to hold me back, or a negative family member to hold me back. And that's what I do. I was in the shower and I was thinking, oh my God, that's what I really do. I teach people how to dream again. I teach them how to believe in themselves. I teach them how to think bigger than what they are, how to find their purpose and what they're capable of, and bring that to the table, because that is what this business is about. That's what all of this is. So when you guys see people like Keisha or anybody else get on there and talk about why they're here, or do a makeup tutorial or anything like that, support them, because they're not cowering down to what their reality really is. Because like Keisha, when they press stop on that video, they very well might have to go sit in a chemo chair for treatment. They very well might have to turn back to an abusive relationship. They very well might have to hold down the 3 jobs that they've been busting their booty to do just to feed their faces and their family. But the thing that I was so proud about Keisha is that she never took her reality for what it was worth. She would post from her chemo chair. She would be in a meeting and say, oh my gosh, guys, hang on, the nurse is hooking me up. I have an infusion. Who does that? Most people would bow out and say, you know what, I can't. And they would succumb to what their reality really was. In our life, we're taught to be realistic with everything. And we're taught not to dream really big. And I personally think that is wrong, because I was listening to Bob Heilig the other day, and he said that being realistic is the most common traveled road to mediocrity. And if you're comfortable being mediocre, then maybe that's your space to be in. But have you ever dared yourself to go past that point of mediocrity? Have you ever dared yourself to maybe realize what your reality is in the current moment and not accept that? That's what Keisha did. She realized that her reality in the present moment, for the entire time that I knew her, that she was going to die from this disease. But you know what she did every single time? She would get knocked down in the knees, life would take her breath away, and then she would get back up and say, okay, give it to me. What's next? What is the next thing you have for me in that arsenal of the treatment bag? What's the next thing you have for me? And until her dad messaged, I'm going to keep it together, until her dad messaged today, and he said that yesterday she had lost consciousness in the afternoon. They live back in Tennessee. That she was still fighting, and her body has been so ready for days. And she finally said, I'm ready to go to heaven. And he said, okay. So now she again is taking control of what her reality is. She's choosing when this is going to happen to her. How awesome is that? How beautiful is that? When a lot of us every day, we get a hangnail and we can't even face the day. So when I thought I was going to come talk to my team this morning about this, I thought, maybe more people need to hear this, because life is going to happen and life is going to knock the wind out of you. And some days life is going to be just really crummy. But I want you guys to really take a step back and think, what do you really want out of it? What do you really want out of life? Most people can't answer that. Most people come to the table with what they don't want. They say, well, I don't want to be sick anymore. I don't want the debt. I don't want to clock into that job that I do anymore. But why do it like that? Why can't you really put on the table what you really want? So every day when Keisha showed up, was she a heavy hitter in sales? No, but that's not what this is about. Was she this crazy recruiter and sponsored and built her team? No, because that's not what this is about. But she was about changing women's lives, helping other women that were in treatment have some confidence about herself, and spreading the word about our mission of our company, which is to uplift, empower, and validate women, to spread the mission about our foundation that we have for sexually abused women. That's what she was about. And her family has been getting messages about that, hey, Keisha changed my life. I was able to register and go to the Unique Foundation and get help for my sexual abuse years ago. I was able to move on and wake up another day and take control of my life, because that's exactly what Keisha did. She took control of her reality, but she didn't let her reality control her. And that's a sad state to see people live in, that they trade their hopes and dreams for compromise, and they compromise for what their reality is. So Keisha was really pushing for this goal. So in our company, we have different levels, and she was pushing for a goal that we call pink, which was totally appropriate. She calls herself the Lash Warrior Princess, which is so fitting for her. And that was her favorite color, is pink. That was she was about. If I'm to describe her, I would say a lighthouse in the distance that always pushed for more, that was bright and sparkly with a smile that lit up a room. That is Keisha. And so when she had this goal and she worked for it every month, month after month after month after month, getting knocked down at the end of the month and saying, okay, she would ask her leaders, what do I need to do differently? How do I tell somebody what we're about without sounding salesy? How do I, help somebody in, that's going through this? Her leaders would say, she would say, okay, great, bring it on. She would execute it and she would move on to the next step. But as her days were ending, we were getting closer and closer to pink for her. And there's nothing she wanted more than to hit this goal with her business. And she took such pride in her business. Like, she just beamed just such pride because she owned a company. And that was the coolest thing to see, because that was something that she was so proud of. So if you are in our business and you are walking your path and you say, I don't have anything to offer because I'm just white status. I don't have anything to offer because I'm just yellow status. I don't have anything to offer because I'm just pink status, and so on and so forth. I want you to zip it. That is not the truth. Keisha offered so much to us. She taught my team perseverance. She taught my team acceptance. She taught my team beauty from the inside out. She taught my team resilience and love. Like, that is what it's about. So in life, I think we set these goals, and if you're brave enough, you set lofty goals. And as you're walking your journey and you don't reach that goal, most people will take a step back and say, oh gosh, I didn't reach my goal. I'm a failure. And they'll label it. I didn't do it. I didn't succeed. But I don't want you guys to do that, because Keisha never does that. She never does that. She stops and says, okay, cool. I made it from here to here. So now I'm going to finish and do it here. And then maybe next month I'll do it here, and I might get knocked back a little bit, but I'm going to get back up and continue on, because that is not my reality. And so that is what I want you guys. That is what I want you guys to do. Because most people just fall into this realistic maintenance mode, and that's not how life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be loud, life is meant to be bright, and life is meant to be a servant leader to others around you, always, always. So I'm here to remind you of what Keisha would do, to not give up on your dreams or your goals. You guys all have the chance to design a life that you are fiercely in love with. And take that chance. We only get one. We're only uniquely us one time. And who are you impacting? What is your purpose? Do you have a bigger purpose? Do you think past yourself? That is something that is so powerful. Think past yourself. What can you provide to somebody else? Because that's what Keisha did. When you have people in your life or your business, since I'm on my personal page, your life, and you have a negative family member, you have somebody try to crush your dreams, somebody tells you verbally that, this isn't possible, why are you even trying? Don't let those people steal your dreams. Don't let those people dictate what path you take. And so Keisha, to us in our team, as well as our entire company. So when Pink Status, and I know I'm keeping you guys longer than I should, but hold with me for a second, is that when we decided that we were going to help her as a team, we were trying to give our orders that we had for other customers and drive them to her website and really uplift her, because we were coming down to the wire of when she wasn't going to be on this earth anymore, and we knew that she needed rest. And that's what we do. That's what we do in this company. And I came to our Black Status page. For those of you that aren't in our company, what that is it's the top level leaders. It's the cream of the crop that make it to the top of our compensation plan. And I went on there and I said, I have this team member and she's amazing and I need prayers. Like, I need some strength and prayers, because these girls are working their booty off to try to get her to Pink. And you know what these girls did? Immediately they said, how can we help? Let's get this done. The power behind the sisterhood is huge, and I'm so obsessively grateful for that. I cannot even put that into words. So what happened is, in a matter of an hour, all of those girls rallied together. We got her team qualified. We got all of those orders together between the Black Status team and Unique as a whole. We were able to rally and send our customers to her websites to order. And we made it happen. And Keisha hit Pink. So it was in the middle of the night. I'm in California in Pacific time. It was probably 11 o'clock maybe when it happened. Not the middle of the night, maybe 11 o'clock. And we were elated. And it was the best promotion that we have ever seen as a community ever. It was so powerful. So I messaged her dad and I'm like, we did it. We totally did it. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for her to find out. So her dad was elated. He's like, okay, do you want to do it now? I want you to FaceTime her. They live in Memphis, so it's a couple hours difference. I'm thinking it's really the middle of the night there. And I said, I'll do whatever you want me to do, Bob. We'll do whatever you want me to do. And he said, let's do it tomorrow. Let's wait for tomorrow. Let's let her get some rest, because we weren't at that tipping point yet. So he messaged me. I keep my phone on. For those of you guys that know me in my personal world, I have a son that's type 1 diabetic. So there's an alarm that's connected to his phone. So I keep my phone on. So my phone went off and I looked at it and it was Keisha's dad. And it was 4:30 in the morning, my time. And he said, we're coming near the end. If you could please FaceTime her right now to give her the news while she can still hear it. I said, it would be my pleasure. We were camping in our motorhome. I shut everything I could. I, got in the bathroom because it needed to be quiet because I wanted to be so excited for her. So she got on FaceTime with me and I said, guess what? Guess what you did? Guess what you did? And she's like, what? I go, you hit Pink. And it was this celebration. And you guys should have seen her face. Her face was like relief and joy. And I just saw her body like, oh, I did it. She goes, I finally did it, under her breath. And I was so joyous for her. I was so excited for her. She said, how did I do that? How did I do that? And I told her, you've been working so hard and all of those holiday orders came in and they came through for you and you did it. Did she need to know in that moment that Unique as a company, Unique as a community, rallied together to do that? No, because she was present in her business. She was working her booty off. She was inspiring women. She was instilling confidence. And that was what got her to her promotion. It's not about selling stuff. It's not about that. It's about who you inspire. And she was inspiring so many people around her, including her peers. And that is what it's about. She showed up every day with a servant leadership heart, no matter who she was speaking to, whether she was speaking to somebody in the company, somebody at corporate, or a customer. So she did it. So I was able to let her know that I was so thankful that she was in my company, that she had brought so much to the table, and that she had inspired so many people. So that night, that was 4:30 in the morning my time. The next day at like 8 in the morning, her dad messaged and said, "I'm sorry one more time, but I just have to tell you, like, the joy on her face is not left. She just cannot stop smiling," because that was her one goal that she wanted to crush, and she did it. So he went back into her room and she was going to take sleep some more. And he was leaving the room and she said, "Dad, isn't that the coolest that I'm pink?" And he said, "Yeah, that's the coolest." And she goes, "Okay, on to blue next." That's the next step after pink in our company. So even in her very last hours, she was not thinking, "This is my stopping point." She was thinking, "Cool, what do I have to do to get to my next step?" Oh, hi, Bob. Oh, I love you. I love you. Oh, I love you guys. So even at that moment when her dad turned around, she said, "Wouldn't it be really cool if I got to blue? Like, that's my next thing." So even in her last days here on this earth, she is still not laying down to her reality, and she's still pushing through. So Keisha has become, Bob, and I'm glad that you're on right now. I'm so glad that you're on, because I want you to hear this, is that Keisha is not just a presenter for this company. She has become a symbol. She has become a symbol of hope. She has become a symbol of perseverance. She has reminded us all to live in the moment and to celebrate everything along the way, regardless of what life puts in our way, regardless of the breath that it takes out of our lungs. She has reminded us that your circumstances should not dictate your path of impact that you have on other people. And although she wasn't with our company too terribly long, she provided so much light than I have ever seen anybody provide. And so, Susan and Bob, I want to thank you so much for sharing her with us. She's amazing. I promised I would keep it together. Ugh. So give her hugs from all of us. You'll be receiving a package today in the mail from our corporate offices, and Derek and Melanie. And just know that that you raised one kick-ass amazing woman, and that in her 34 years, she did the work of a 90-year-old. That's as big of an impact that she made. So I love you guys. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.